Use synthetic division to divide. F of x equals to x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6 by x plus 1. Use the results to find all the zeros of f. So the first thing I will need to do is take the x plus 1, set it equal to 0, and solve for x. Subtracting 1 from both sides, x equals to negative 1. Negative 1 will go in our box. We will check to make sure that the polynomial is in descending order and that we're not missing any terms. So I have 1x cubed, pulling down the coefficients, 1. I have an x to the second power, x squared. I have an x to the first, that's positive 1 coefficient. And then my constant is 6. So let's use synthetic division. Multiply and add. Pull down 1. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Add, we get negative 5. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. Add, we get 6. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. Add, we get 0. Anytime your remainder is a 0, then x plus 1 is a factor. We've talked about that previously. So we already know that negative 1 is a 0, okay? Because we got a remainder of 0. To find the remaining zeros, we will write out our answer here. Remember, this is x cubed. When you write out your answer, you lower it down 1. So this is 1x squared minus 5x plus 6. So now we will take that answer and set it equal to 0. Remember, we already know that x plus 1 gave me a remainder of 0, so it is also a 0 once it is set equal to 0. So we will set each one of these equal to 0 individually to get all of our zeros. So if I subtract 1 from both sides, x equals to negative 1. That is a 0. Here, it's a quadratic equation. Let's try to factor. We'll factor this trinomial into two binomials. We'll factor x squared into x and x. The back sign's positive. That tells me signs are going to be the same. Look to one at the front. They're both going to be negative. Factors of 6 are 1 and 6, 3 and 2. Well, we're trying to pick the pair of numbers that add together to give you 5. Since my signs are the same, the outside and inside will add together to give me 5. So I'll use 3 and 2. Now I'll set each one of those equal to 0 to find the remaining zeros of this problem. So add 3 to both sides, x equals to 3. Add 2 to both sides, x equals to 2. So my zeros of this problem is negative 1, 3, and positive 2.